Hello and welcome. I'm Adri Gregan, and I'm back for more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Today we're here with Season 1, Episode 5 now, and last time we finished out building the baseline of basically the story and where the story will start from here. We effectively got our proper call to action to what I assume will be the main plot of the story, if not the plot of this season, or maybe just this arc, who knows, of the show. But it is ostensibly, or previously was, a 10 years journey up to Oriel, the land of the dead. We're going to be going up to Ende, the northernmost part of the continent, where the Demon King's castle is. Obviously, the Demon King, Demon Lord, is no longer there, but it's a landmark, and it's to tell us basically that we're pretty much going to be retreading the path of the hero's journey that we never really got to saw. We never really got to see English, but Frieren certainly did. As you can tell, I'm watching basically two of these effectively back to back with the little MHA in the background, or in between, because I accidentally uploaded Frieren for the Friday episode when it was supposed to be a JJK episode. I realized that as I was getting ready to upload it, but I decided that was a lame excuse not to upload for the day, so I figured, well, might as well just give them two Frierens to make up for all the episodes I suppose I missed last week. So there you go. After today, of course, we'll be back to the alternating schedule. But for now, I want to get back to the schedule here, so here we are. But that's neither here nor there. We're here with Frieren. I'm really excited to see what this has in store for us. Now that we're actually departing on our journey, I don't doubt that this is where we'll start to meet our characters. And if it's not, I'll just keep saying that every episode, as I've been doing. But regardless, I'm excited to see where we go from here, to see if we meet that plucky protag knightly character that we see in the opening, and if we'll see more people from the opening. That person who seemed very motherly seems to be Flamingo, the mage herself, who is also Frieren's former master, which is really cool. Another temporary life that seems to be outliving Frieren herself. There's that theme again. So we'll see where that goes from here. I'm not going to ramble too long here in the pre-episode, the pre-ep prep. So we'll just get right into the episode. But real quick before that, if you do enjoy, please do hit like. It shows the algorithm and me that you enjoy the content, and it shows it to more people. It does. I don't, but the algorithm does. You can show it to more people if you want more people to enjoy it. If you want to expand this discussion, please do. If you want to participate in the discussion, the comments are right there for you. I'd love to engage with you there. And finally, if you do want to get notified when these come out, do subscribe. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people just don't really think about it and don't realize they're not doing it. But it helps me a lot. Again, helps with the algorithm, but it also helps you because you don't have to go looking for my content whenever new episodes come out. And it's 3 times a week. So if you like Frieren, you'll get more than your fill of it, I feel. And we'll be caught up when season 2 eventually drops, so it'll become weekly at that point. But with all that YouTuber housekeeping stuff out of the way, I'm not going to keep either of us waiting any longer. All right, let's see what we've got today. Aizen.
この世界の人々が天国と呼ぶ場所。魂の眠る地、オレオールにたどり着いた。
The land where souls
そこは多
rest.
くの魂が集まる場所で、私はかつての戦友たちと対話した。
There's a question whether this is legitimate or not, but that doesn't seem like the kind of thing you'd make up, so I would be inclined to believe her more than not. And I'm curious if this 10 years journey is going to be yet another demonstration of how long 80 years is. I get a feeling it's not going to take nearly as long. Partially because of the advancement of science, but also partially because they're not going to be fighting their way up to the Demon Lord's castle. So we'll see though. A mere 10-year adventure. Or maybe it will be and it'll just go in the blink of an eye. Yeah, referencing that talk. Because she's over a millennia old. Nope, they'll be a waste of time because they'll just die. But she's not worried about time, so I think it's more responsibility than anything.
そういうものだよ。みんな
Yes, it is.
私の人生の100分の1にも満たない。
And yet you value it. Probably more than the other 99. That does sound like something I'd say.
その100分の1が
Mm-hmm.
お前を変えたんだ。
More valuable than the other 99. And it didn't just change you because of what happened, it changed you because of all the rippling effects.
じゃあまたな。
また。私の人生では2分の1ですから。フリーレン様と過ごした時間です。
That's crazy to think about. I didn't even think about that. It just processed in my head. This is the first time we're actually getting a pre-episode, pre-opening cutscene. I wonder if that's because those were like the first 4 episodes. I think it was those 4 that released together, and now we're like getting into the show proper. So not only have we built out our base and we're starting our journey now, but very appropriately now the show is also getting into its own routine. And if that's the case, that's a really cool parallel. And I have to imagine it was intentional, assuming I'm not just misremembering how that happened. But I'm really excited. Given how great the show's been, it would not surprise me in the slightest bit if that was intentional. That was the plan. Some burn spinning. Yeah. Flower crown. The flower crown that he made her. Oh, cool. So we're getting a flashback of before he passed. Aren't you? You'll do it anyways. But more of a watching over you kind of thing. Oh.
ずる賢くなりましたね。誰に似たんだか。撤回しましょう。あなたがいい子でいたら、少しくらいなら化けて出てあげてもいいかもしれません。
That'll be a reward. Oh.
そろそろ村に着くってさ。
I don't know why it's always so satisfying for me just to watch her earrings just swaying whenever she's moving. Still 28 years. I'm still waiting. I'm gonna blink and that's gonna say like 33 years. I'm gonna be like, what the? Where have the years gone? Well, it's Frieren's perspective, so they're not moving. Okay, they did a little shake there. Oh. Meanwhile, me getting distracted by the stupid earrings. Taken by ghosts. And Frieren is familiar. Ooh. I like that OST. That, I don't think it's a flute. I don't know exactly what that is. Probably a trap. Otherwise, we won't even need to go all the way to Uriel. We can just do it here. So it is interesting immediately after we get our call to adventure to go to the land of the spirits. We're stopped by a quest of spirits appearing very, very far away from Uriel. So it's probably an illusion. Yeah, she does seem familiar.
朝一で村を出るよ。フリーレン様、村の人たち困っていました。
Oh, now you're the one who's stopping and wanting to help.
フリーレン様とは違っていい子なので。
I guess she's like, as long as we don't stay here for like 3 months, she wants to help. She just doesn't want to linger.
ここが最近村人が消えた場所だね。手がかりは十分すぎるか。ここで魔法が使われた形跡があります。そうだね。どんな魔法だと思う？
I know this sounds pointless, but I was making light of it before, but I am noticing that the earrings aren't really shaking a whole lot more. I wonder if they're swaying a little bit here, but it's indicative of different... Oh, interesting. Leatherman, yeah, I figured as much, something like that. It's indicative of different cuts being animated by different people, right? Not everyone's going to be so insane as to animate their shaking every time someone takes a step. It's ridiculous. It's too much to ask, yet some animators are just crazy and just do it for fun. But I think that's just what I'm seeing. It's just, you're seeing different cuts that some are those unreasonable people doing those little details. Others are much more normal, just animating what they need to. Because I do mean when I say unreasonable, given the animation schedule and what people have to deal with. It's not reasonable to expect something as silly as those things shaking when she's walking. Oh, wow. Wait, used to it? Excuse me? I assume in jest. Yeah, that's something to elaborate on. Oh, yep, there it is. See, shaking. Now we got it. But yeah, given the schedules and things they have to work with, I really do mean it when I say unreasonable. It's more of a thing to praise when I see it and not something to diminish, not something to knock when I don't see it, you know, that kind of thing. Bonus points, not dock points. Are you though? Or are you just composed? Calm and composed are two very different things. Oh. Oh, that's exactly what she was told. How do they know that? I guess they invade their, like, minds, so... Yeah, that's so nasty. That's foul. And his voice is fading away. Because she's trying to drown it out with her own words, her own thoughts. Well, you can't fully drown it out, can you? Yeah, you can see on her face. Even if you know it, it's not just something you can... Easier said than done. We knew it would happen. I think she's gonna be a lot less affected because she's dealt with them before. Now he's the person she'd least want to see. Boom! Whoa. That thing looks terrifying. Oh, and the grainy effect. Wow, that looks so cool. It's like a whole universe behind it. Oh, the particles of it dissolving, turning into dust.
偽物です。
God, the magic in this show looks so phenomenal.
次は本物に会いに行こう。
Mm.
私たちはオレオールを目指している。
Let's see the real ones. I don't know why they said hider in the translation, but she really just said let's see the genuine articles. So both hider and him, all right.
あれが竜。初めて見ました。
Same.
巣を見て。
This world, of course.
魔導書があるでしょ。あれ探していたやつなんだよね。相変わらず好きですね。でも、なぜあんなところに。竜は魔力のこもったものを栄装の材料にするからね。高教竜。こいつは冒険者を何人も食っている。
Naturally.
店を仕留めておいた方がいいでしょう。巣に当てないように気をつけて。はい。
Ooh. Bounced straight off of it. I mean, it is a dragon. She's like a little behind a tree. Katai indeed. Yup, and there it is. Frieren, you gotta be quicker on the draw than that. Oh. Well, time to find a new disciple. That was a really cute motion there. You don't say. I don't know what you were expecting, Frieren. It's a dragon. She's like, give me a second to get over my trauma. But Frieren has the experience. She's got a lot less to be afraid of. Take on a companion. A non-mage? Yeah. We need a vanguard. A warrior named Stark. Is that our redhead? Literal redhead? Your apprentice. Well, he survived. He must be some good. But the shaking of his sword in the opening makes me wonder if he lacks confidence. So maybe he's not. People thrive in all kinds of environments. Excuse me? I mean, she's not the type of person to use that for what you'd expect to use it for, but... And I guess you can see for, like, weapons. Yeah. I think what's most useful for is keeping it out of the hands of other people. Like that. She's nothing but clothes. I'd love to see what's through that. Phrasing. Oops. Yeah, instead of relocating, you rebuild. It is him. Stark. Valiant. Brave or unafraid? Okay, so it just hasn't attacked. Interesting. Doesn't feel like we've got the full story, though. There he is. Good with kids, too. Cool. He seems like a very grounded person. Ooh, complexion just changed. Who messed with him? We all live in peace.
この額の傷も暗黒竜と戦った時に。
そんな大層な傷じゃないでしょ。
お前ら師匠の差し金か。何者だ。
Really? He could just tell.
フリーレン。
Heard that name before, I'm sure.
外してくれ。大丈夫。俺の師匠の失敗だ。
Figures he'd keep him up to date.
師匠、怒っていただろ。黙っててほしいんだからな。
He
シャル
left.
ク、なんで竜を倒さないでいるの？村にとどまる。
He's very confident. You can tell in his voice.
先にそっちの要件を教えてくれないか？
I was not expecting this at
と
all.
ころに戻れって言うならごめんだぜ。
前衛として私たちの仲間
It's
に。
perfectly relaxed.
まずは公共竜の討伐を手伝ってもらいたい。
You want to spend 10 years
海にある魔導
going
書
north so we can find some ghosts to talk to?
なぜ？
ただの趣味。特に理由はないよ。
相手は公共竜だぜ。理由もなく戦う相手じゃねえだろ。
Oh my god, a breakdancing rock.
私の集めた
What was that?
見てくれたバカがいた。
Yeah, there's that again.
それが理由になるかな。
He values it, so I value it.
ね。くだら
So
な
it'd
い。
be nice for you to value it yourself.
仲間になるのは別に構わないぜ。師匠が連れてけって
But that's more of an eventuality.
ただ、
Hmm.
公共竜だけは絶対に倒してもらう。正直俺一人じゃ厳しくてな。
So you want it to be dealt with.
フリーレン。
You just can't do it
お前なら
alone.
倒せるんだな。
30秒足止めしてもらえれば
For
確実。
30 seconds.
なるほ
Time
ど。
to prepare a spell, I imagine.
30秒か。それ、
Possible.
俺がやらないとダメかな。
何を言っているのですか、この人は。
I mean, who else is gonna do it? That's the whole reason we got you.
シュタルク、魔物との戦闘経験は？
Oh my god. Tell me he just stands big and they all run away. It was that. It was that. And it was intimidating because he wasn't flinching. His composure's all he has. That's what it is. Oh my god. His expression, his blank expression is so good. So he's a king. He's a king. Got it.
フリーレン様、こいつはダメです。他は当たりましょう。
Utter disgust.
こいつは竜と戦える。できるはずだ。
I mean, as your vanguard, it's not exactly the personality you want, but he was training under Aizen. Unless he left because he ran away, and that's the real reason. I was not expecting that complete breakdown. I figured there was something behind that, but I didn't think it was so
シュタルク、
deeply
一晩
rooted,
だけ
let's
時間を
say.
やる。
Or
よく考えろ。
I guess shallowly rooted, really.
分かっているはずだ。
Ooh, some tough love. You know what you have to do. Can you do it or not?
シュタルク様に会ってきたん
And
だ
he
ね
does know.
いい若者だったら。
あの子ったら
He's a king, but he knows Zenitsu.
美味しそうに食べてくれるからね。
シュタルク様、慕われていますね。まあ、あいつは優しいやつみたいだ。
He does.
優しい臆病なようにしか見えませんでした。
She's very judgmental. It's consistent on her part at the very least. But she does have a lot to learn. Yeah, you weren't faring much better against the dragon either. I don't know who you are to judge. Well, I'm a mage and he's Vanguard. So what? You're all humans and that dragon is many times bigger than you. I do wonder if it was actually intimidated by him because he wasn't flinching. Hmm.
気になるなら見てくれば。私はもう寝る。
Mhm.
Hmm. いい選手なの？
あいつは昔故郷の村がま
The only one who ran.
一人だけ逃げ出した臆病者だ。
But he's a survivor.
俺と同じだ。
Oh, like me.
だからあいつには俺のすべてを
You also ran?
今のあいつは誰かのために戦えるやつだ。
なるほど。いい選手だ。
Someone who does his best despite everything. Good lord, does he have Excalibur? No, he's got a battle axe. Oh my god, he's got an explosive axe. That's sick. What?
これは修行の後だったのですね。
What do you mean you can't handle a dragon? It was splitting houses. You're splitting mountains. Dude. What are you talking about? That was not... That... That was not the whole episode. You're actually kidding me. How was that the whole episode? What do you mean? I swear to God, I thought we were halfway done. Oh my God. Well, I guess JJK is not the only show to do this to me anymore. God damn it. I can't believe it. I can't believe this happened again. I thought I was done. I thought I was done losing my mind over an end credits. Oh, good lord. God. What a great episode. I've never wanted to watch another one as much as I do now. I mean, never is a strong word. I've watched ReZero Season 1, but... An old hag. Ooh, more Eisen. The hero of the village. I mean, do you even need me to say it? Another masterful episode. Of course it is. The show's just a masterpiece. It's just... Like, I'm sure I haven't even seen anything yet, but it's already I mean, you can tell, right? When you're watching a masterpiece, you can just tell. And you can just tell. I talked about doing the episode, so I won't repeat myself too much here, but the thing about the earrings is that when you see it, it's really cool. It's a really nice detail showing the motion, right? Because obviously every little movement's going to make them jingle. That's just how those things work, especially when they're so big and so long. They're so weighted, they're clearly going to move around a lot. So sometimes you see it moving and sometimes you don't. Let's see if I can find one where it's not. Wait, it's clearly not. There it's jingling. There it's not, right? Right there. She did a whole like head tilt and didn't move at all. And that's standard, honestly. Should it be standard? Given the situation, yes. Would I like it to not be standard? Yes. But given the immense limitations, budgetary and time, and just how animators are generally treated in Japan animation studios, it's unreasonable to expect, well, to expect this kind of movement, even the little like even the little curtains flapping, that's not reasonable. It's what I wish could be reasonable, could be the standard, but it's simply too much effort. In a 3D show, it's easier. In a show that's a lot less detailed, like a lot of Western cartoons and such animated shows, it's more to be expected. But for something as detailed as an anime, as artistically styled, especially like Frieren, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot more to ask than us, and including me, who don't animate things, realize. So it's the kind of thing that when you see it, you praise it. When you don't see it, you don't take off points. You don't denounce it, because it's a bonus. It's really great to see when it happens. But when it doesn't happen, I'm not mad. I'm just happy when it does. And I think you can extend that to a lot of things. And I think that's the good way to look at life in general. When good things happen, be happy about it. When they don't happen, don't be upset. Just be happy when they do happen, right? It's sort of a logical extension of the... it's like a parallel thought to the idea of don't be sad it's over, smile that it happened. Not the same thought, but it's similar. Just count your blessings, I suppose you could say, is another way to say it. I like this conversation. I'll haunt you after death if you're a bad girl. Wait, so if I'm bad, I don't get to see you? You're a bit too clever for your own good. I can tell you've been spending quite a bit of time with Frieren. In that case, I'll come visit you if you're good. And of course, that comes back with the ghost haunting her, but it's a really nice sentiment. It's... As a teacher, I really like this because it's positive reinforcement. Initially, it's a threat of punishment, but admittedly after she has to call him out, but then he shifts it into positive reinforcement because that's better. That's infinitely better for children and for adults, for everyone pretty much. Most people will perform far better if you not necessarily offer them rewards, but if you reward positive behavior around them rather than if you punish negative behavior. So in a classroom setting, if kids are acting up, you can choose to punish them, or you can choose to highlight the kids who are studying and who are focused and who are doing their best. Most people go with the former because the former is easier. It's easier to call out bad things and just tell people don't do this. But it's far more effective to do the latter, to say, look at this good example. Everyone, be like this, because it makes them feel better and it shows everyone else what they have to aspire to, right? It's not showing them what not to do, it's showing them what to do. And I think that's more valuable. Now, it is very valuable to say what not to do. That's why I like analyzing bad shows sometimes. And that's why I like making videos about Demon Slayer, because it's not a great show. It's a good show, but it's not a great show. And it's a great example of, in a lot of ways, of what not to do. But at the same time, if you watch my video on Demon Slayer, you'll see it's mainly positive. It's mainly showing the good things about it. Once again, going back to what I said, highlight the good things and minimize the bad. Not to avoid talking about the bad, not to avoid being uncomfortable, but simply because there was more valuable to be gleaned from highlighting the good. So here it is, positive reinforcement. Do good things, you get good things. And it's not like if you're quiet during class, we'll give you $20, but it's, oh, I'm going to praise this kid for doing good. And then subconsciously, another student will think, oh, if I do good, I will be praised too. And that's just a good way of doing it. It's extrinsic motivation, admittedly. Intrinsic is always better, but unlike rewards versus punishment, extrinsic versus intrinsic is far less clean. You can try, but you cannot reliably impart intrinsic motivation on someone. It's infinitely more useful than extrinsic, but as an extrinsic force, you can only ever with certainty impart extrinsic motivation rather. And if you're doing that, you might as well do positive reinforcement and not avoid minimal reinforcement, but minimize it. Don't make it the centerpiece of you, because then you will be seen as an enforcer, as a executioner, rather than as a rewarder. Anyways, we follow off immediately with the journey into the Souls of the Dead with a side quest of people seeing visions of who seem to be the departed. It's very clearly direct extension off of that. And from that, we immediately know it can't be true because it would invalidate our journey. So sure enough, Frieren seen it before, and it's illusions, as you can probably figure. It's really, really in depth, though, probably because of this world of magic. I mean, obviously illusions are just magic in general, but the fact that they actually go into your memories, they like peer into your mind and use that to tell you things that they shouldn't otherwise know, is interesting. This is not a new concept, but it's pushed to an extent that I rarely see. Because if they can peer into your mind enough to give you illusions, then they can have them say things that they wouldn't normally say, right? There shouldn't be the real one would never know this, would never do this, because if they have this much access, there's no reason they shouldn't have full access. So they should act exactly as you'd expect them to, which is a bit of a failing of a lot of times when shows or stories present this illusions. They dip their toes into it. They show the illusion, but there's a key tell about them that shows they're fake, when they shouldn't have that, because they should know exactly how that person should act, at least from your perspective. And this, of course, Frieren, being as masterful as it is, Yamada, I believe the author's name is, of course, he nails it. He knows exactly how to make this as impactful as can. And wow, to credit other people beyond Yamada, the animators and just people, I guess Yamada, I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know how it looks, but whoever was in charge of bringing this to life and making this like galaxy, Frieren just nukes the Himmel. This like murky, like distorted look. It looks so good. It looks so good. Oh, it's so beautiful. Like the ashes effect looks great. Let's go see the real ones ourselves. And then we meet a dragon, and we see a grimoire for especially stripping people, for showing people with their clothes. I get a feeling that Frieren knew this wouldn't do anything. She clearly has experience with dragons. I think she was just giving Fern firsthand experience of how just crazy dragons are, because, you know, sometimes you can teach people as much as you want, but sometimes they have to see firsthand. I imagine that's what this was. And then they decide to go find a companion, and sure enough, we finally meet the vanguard of our party, the knight, if you would. Mr. Stark. He stood his ground bravely and became the hero of the village, the name of next episode. Seems like the next part of this part 2 of this two-parter. A warrior's job is hardly a noble one. Then we meet him, and he's super composed and super good, and he's good with children, and he's level-headed, but he's like relatable, and he can talk, and he has emotions, and he's a little bit reserved. He's very cool. I got the scar fighting the dragon. It's all right. I can handle them. They're friends of my acquaintances. And he's super calm and smiling, and he's relaxed. Everything's good. You can't do this without a good reason. He's so composed. One second. Perfect. Anyways, where were we? And then we reiterate it, but she's like, I don't mind. It's good. You can defeat it, right? We need to fight it. 30 seconds. Do I have to? And then he completely breaks down. And it's really funny because it's done in a way that's very tasteful. It's not just played for laughs, and it doesn't invalidate what happened earlier. I think, obviously, the easiest comparison, especially in the modern day, and I've made it during the episode, is Stark versus Zenitsu. I think the reason why this works so much better than Zenitsu is, for one, we saw him more composed. We never really see Zenitsu like that unless he's asleep, which is more of a quirk than an actual like personality. It doesn't really make sense. But here it makes sense. He's grandstanding. He's built himself up on an image that isn't really due to anything he did. So his defining trait, his saving grace, you could say, is his ability to look good, right? So of course he can do that and he can hold his own. He has the confidence when he's around people of the village. Yeah, I'm the hero. But as soon as it actually gets down to it, and like he thinks that he has to actually go back into that danger again, he breaks down because the walls come down. It's so very human, and that's why this works so well. Whereas Zenitsu's constant complaining doesn't really work, because the latter, Zenitsu, is just played for laughs, played for humor. While this is, yes, played for humor. It's very funny. His expressions are hilarious, but it works so well with the character we've seen. And it's also really funny because Fern is immediately disgusted and revolted. It's pure revulsion on her face. This is not gonna work. And this is really cool. I didn't catch this before. Frieren notices the massive gash in the wall, and Fern realizes later, but it's because of him. He's clearly really strong. He just doesn't have that confidence in himself. And Fern has a lot to learn about empathy, about realizing other people are on the same journey as you. You can't judge people based on the journey you've been on, because you reacted not much differently when you almost died to the dragon and when you were facing off against monsters earlier. You've grown a lot. He hasn't. That's not something to look down on. That's something to be excited about, because that's growth potential, right? I've gone on this journey, so he can too. And that's exemplified. That's exactly what we talk about here with Aizen. And we learned that Aizen and Stark both fled their villages that were being attacked by monsters, which is sad and it's heartbreaking, but it's also inspiring. Again, it's the fact that he resembles me, but I turned out all right, so I know I can make sure he does too. Contrast that to Fern. He's just like how I was, but I've grown from that, so he should be doing better, right? You can see the clear difference in experience. One who has encountered other people, one who has only gone on their journey. I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. I'll repeat it as many times as I need to. This is not to disparage Fern, but to highlight room that she has more to grow, right? Very apropos. She has a lot of room to grow, and part of that growth is realizing that other people also have room to grow. And Fern and Frieren, as wise as she is, catches on to this. He's a good warrior. He's someone who can fight for another despite being afraid, despite not being confident. He can still do it. And that's what makes a good warrior. It's not about how strong you are. It's not about how capable you are or how confident you are. It's about what you're willing to do. Today, I also recorded my first episode for My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and I noticed this also with Koichi, the main character there. And it's not a novel concept, certainly not. That what makes a hero, what makes someone brave isn't the absence of fear, but is acting despite it, right? What makes someone a hero isn't doing good deeds, but is having the desire to do good and having the motivation to, having either the strength to back up that desire or having the motivation to gain that strength. Because desire without strength is just a dream. You need both. But while desire is not enough to do good, it is a necessary prerequisite. He has that prerequisite, and according to Aizen, and according to the massive gash in the freaking hill, he has a lot of the power. He just needs the confidence. Then he also has the composure that he can put up. So he has all the pieces. He just needs to put them together. He just needs to overcome the very human, very relatable, very natural fear of death, right? Fear of fighting a giant freaking lizard monster. Fear of fighting this massive thing that's slicing apart, that's just tearing apart a village like nothing. If you're not afraid of this, you are not brave, you are moronic. You are senseless, and you are not going to last long in this world or in any world, frankly. You should be afraid of this. Now, there are exceptions. In Frieren's case, it's okay. She's probably not super afraid of it because she's dealt with it. She knows how to deal with it. She knows how to run away from it. But if you are not experienced fighting something like this and you are not afraid of it, that is not bravery. That is ignorance. That is foolishness. You should be utterly terrified. and you should face it anyways. That is what makes you brave. That is what makes you a hero. And that is what will make Stark a hero. And that is what you could argue makes him a hero. You could argue that the village wasn't praising him because he scared the dragon away, but because he stood his ground. They're not praising him. Their praise of him, their worship of, maybe not worship, but their celebration of him isn't ignorance. It's not baseless. It's based around the fact that he was brave enough to stand up to that dragon. That despite him being terrified, he did not book it and run. You could argue, yeah, he was just a deer in headlights. He would have been running if he just wasn't too terrified to run. But I would disagree. I think deer in headlights is a very real effect. But I think there's more to it. I think humans are very good at running away, are very good at breaking down. I think if you shut down a situation like this, if you just stand there and don't move, I don't think that means you're too scared to move. I think that is internal conflict on a subconscious level of you wanting to stand up to it versus the part of you that wants to run. That's why you're not moving. I don't think you're actually, you could argue physiologically, like the deer in the headlights, you're literally locking up. But I choose to believe that the reason people don't move in these situations, some people don't move, is because they are trying to stand their ground. They're trying to decide whether to fight or flight. Whereas if you were a proper coward, if you had none of the metal to make you a hero, you had no potential to be brave, you'd just book it. Or you'd just cower down or something. But to keep standing, there is a part of you that wants to stand, that part of you that wants to move forward. Otherwise, there would be no resistance against just running or just curling up. He's not curling up. He's standing his ground. He's scared shitless. He probably needed to change his pants after this, but he's still standing, and that's commendable. That's commendable. And I'm really excited to see where his journey goes from here. Because there's a lot of potential. I'm really excited. I hope you're excited as well. If you are, please do. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment if there's something in the episode that I didn't talk about or something I just kind of skipped over that you want me to talk about more, or you want to bring to my attention. If there's something I said that you agree or disagree or just want to build off of, again, please leave it in the comments. I would love to engage in discourse with you. It's one of my favorite parts about doing this, without question. I love really building out these discussions. Really, the way to do that is by engaging as a community, not just me talking to nobody. So yeah, please do leave your thoughts. I would really appreciate it. But regardless, whatever you do, thank you so much for watching. And until the next one, have a lovely rest of your day.